If you're wondering if you can actually wear your braids for up to 4 months
to retain your absolute maximum amount of length
without it actually locking up, you absolutely can.
I mean, shout out to my locked queens though, I just did not intend for my hair to lock up. If you're concerned about preventing your hair from locking during long-term protective style like braids, or if you're already experiencing some locking and you need some help, girl, you need some guidance to detangle, then this video is for you.
Hey guys, it's Victoria and I'm back with another video.
So yeah guys, my hair actually locked up recently this year, but the first time I did a 4-month protective style
was from August to December. I successfully kept my braids while washing them weekly to bi-weekly to monthly and moisturizing them weekly. However, recently my braids completely locked up during my 4-month protective style from January to April. This was a long-term protective style that I intended for my 4B, 4C hair, just so you guys know. Sometimes people ask me. So I'm here to let you guys know all the tea so you don't make the same mistakes. And before I tell you that, you need to know the backstory, okay? I'm gonna let you know the backstory, how to prevent this, and how to get yourself out of this mess. In other words, detangling and not ripping your hair out, because you don't wanna rip your hair out. We don't want to do that. Okay, so why my hair locked? I basically wore my knotless braids with not a care in the world. They're very easy to do, very beautiful, and they just fit my vibe. So they were very low maintenance. Love that part about them. Maintaining a constant regimen was the only thing, I wouldn't call it challenging, but it's the most challenging thing of having my knotless braids is the regimen of moisturizing them. And then you just wash your hair how you regularly wash your hair. So then my roots started to grow out as normal. Like once you reach the 1-month mark, you can clearly see that your roots are growing out. My roots started to grow out, which I think is a cool process because I'm really in love with my hair. So when my roots grow out, they really remind me of locks, and I've always kind of wanted them anyway. I don't know if you guys have been watching me for a while, but I really like the look. Basically, or you could say I don't mind the look of when my roots grow out because the roots are a representation of my hair, right?
Basically, I love locks. But I had braids at the end of the day and I need them to stay braids and look like braids.
But once you get to the 2-month and 3-month mark, it's just a lot of manipulation can happen to the root when your hair is just kind of like dangling like that. So what would happen is I would often rock my hair in like buns, ponytails, because no one can tell, and you can kind of like slick your hair back. There were days I'd use gel and edge control. There were days I weren't, and I liked that type of look better. It really doesn't matter to me. Basically, what was happening as my roots were growing out, I started to retwist my hair about every month, and I just got used to it, and I was like, okay, this is a great like solution. Like this is what I can do. And I think I did that last year. So I was like, I'm just gonna retwist, right? However, I noticed it was just an extremely temporary solution. I like the idea of retwisting because I noticed I didn't have to rebraid. So that's what it was. It was just less work, and I was kind of avoiding that. And then my maintenance routine was normal. Like I said, I would wash weekly to monthly, and I would moisturize weekly, and then I would retwist monthly. Can you guess out of those things I just said, which of those locked my hair? I'll give you a second. If you guessed retwisting, you are correct. Time and twisting with gels can make your hair lock up, basically. In order for your hair to lock up, you always will need time, and twisting is just another method that people lock their hair anyway. So an important part is retwisting with all of that gel all the time is definitely gonna help lock your hair up like that. I don't want to say the gel because it was braiding gel. It wasn't like edge control. My hair locked up for sure. Okay, so if we look at my first time long-term protective styling for 4 months with braids versus this last time recently where I protective styled, the difference is rebraiding. Let's get into rebraiding your hair during long-term protective styling with braids. Okay, so first thing, for the maintenance of your look, you're gonna want to rebraid the front of your hair every month and the back if you want, especially if you do ponytails. So I would say the first 2 rows and then just that back section. For maintenance of your actual hair, in other words, not having it lock up, you want to rebraid your hair at least once during your 4-month protective style. If you're having your braids for like 2 months, maybe 3 months, I don't think you have to do this necessarily. I do think once you get past the 3-month mark, there is a huge chance of locking. So like I said, if you are gonna go for 4 months doing this, so I would say rebraid your hair once. Okay, so here's a huge game changer. Like, I don't think you guys understand how much of a game changer this was for me, but I'm gonna let you guys in on the tea. So rebraiding your hair, you're gonna keep the same parts. And this is kind of the same recycled parts method, if you've heard of this. You're gonna keep the same parts that you took hours to create in the first place. You're gonna keep those same parts, and you're just going to undo the braid, wash it, moisturize it, and then redo the braid. That's it. Yeah, you're literally eliminating that time of reparting your hair. We all know parting can take like a day. And a seamless part about doing this is that no one can tell that you're undoing your hair, and it's not noticeable. Rebraiding the front 2 rows can take up to 2 days, while rebraiding your entire head can take up to like a week or more. You can do this in sections, and you can do it gradually. Instead of trying to look at this as something you need to do like right now, as like your hair has to be done today, think of it as like something that you want to do gradually. So you're gonna do this in sections. You can just like take on these different sections every day. So let's say this is a section for 1 day. You can undo this, right, for the day. Then you can just like have your braids. Like, what I like to do is I'll leave them twisted after I take them out. They'll stay like that until I'm ready to wash all of them. And so when I wash all of them, they are all within their own parts in twists, and that's how I wash them. So they don't get unraveled and they stay the way they are. Now, if you want your parts to be like extra crispy, you can like repart the front if you want, but you literally don't have to repart your entire head. I noticed that the parts kind of like stay pretty intact, you know, they know what they're doing. Okay, they remember the way you parted them. This is why I just really love knotless braids. It's just like the seamlessness and the added hair. It's like no one can tell what's going on, especially if you have black or the same color hair as your braids. Like, no one can tell what's going on. You literally can just like do ponytails and buns and just go, and no one has to know that you're undoing your hair, redoing your hair, whatever. Let's talk about the detangling process. This is after your hair is already locked up. I know. For your takedown process and dealing with locked or semi-locked hair, find a quiet, relaxing environment to just chill, relax. You know, they say like leave the stress at the door. That's what you have to do here too. When I oil and massage my hair, I love to listen to like Sade. You know, just set up entertainment, a movie, a playlist, a podcast. Have your water, your drinks, your snacks handy. Remember to take breaks every now and then. And most importantly, check in with yourself, like mentally, you know, like, because this can always wait for the next day. Like, if you're not ready for this, it can wait. You can always rock a nice bun for another day. Okay, you can always rock a bun for another day, ponytail for another day. You know, make it nice, sleek it up if you want. But what you can't do is undo when you rip your hair or when you just manipulate your hair. Literally rip it. You can't undo that. So you want to just really think about what you're about to do before you just sit there and start detangling, okay? So essential tools for me are a conditioner with slip. I like to use the Tresemme Moisture line. For my 4B4C, I need that Tresemme conditioner. So you're gonna wanna have suction clips, a moisturizing liquid of your choice. I've used my fenugreek tea. You might wanna use some type of herbal tea, black tea, green tea, because your hair is gonna need some strength, and that blocks the DHT. You need to stop the shedding. All I know is that the tea stops the shedding and it strengthens your hair. And then you're gonna need a rat tail comb just for undoing your braids. The rat tail comb is gonna help pierce the knot that has locked as well. And then of course you're gonna need your fingers. You're just gonna wanna use your fingers. This is not a time to be using a comb, wide tooth comb, a brush. This is a time for you to like feel your hair and detangle. But yeah, you're gonna need your fingers. And you're gonna need patience. So the detangling process. What I've done is I section my hair and I apply warm liquid. I have low porosity hair, so I'm applying something warm, almost hot, so my hair kind of like melts and is ready to be unbraided. I apply the conditioner onto that section. You're gonna want to use a generous amount of both the liquid and both your conditioner. So you're gonna allow the conditioner to sit for a little bit before you want to go in, or you can go into the first braid while the rest of your section sits with the conditioner. And then you're gonna really apply your product onto like the root. It's like the beginning of the braid. Your roots grown out and then there's like the beginning of the braid. That is where it's really knotted the most. So you're gonna wanna put a lot of product there, and you're gonna continue to put product, especially if you feel like there's not enough product or you're not really getting through, just apply more conditioner. That's what I would say. What will get you through is patience, a good movie, conditioner, and your liquid, your fingers, and everything I just said. When in doubt, add more conditioner. What you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna get to the root of the hair. Right here, there was like a knot there. Once I took the hair out, there was a knot there, and then my hair was loose all the way down. So you can tell that here had a texture like sort of like locked hair, and then here for sure, the bulb felt like it was locked. So from the end, I kind of stuck in my rat tail comb, and I would try to start at the end of the knot. So let's say this is the knot. You're gonna try to start at the end of the knot and kind of pick your rat tail comb kind of like through and down. So you're like piercing, it's like a huge bulb. You're piercing it kind of in places where you feel is like the best. And you're gonna slowly, like what you're doing is like you're slowly melting away the knot and it's becoming smaller. You can also, if you don't want to use the rat tail comb because your fingers are technically better, you can feel out where it's best to peel apart your hair. And there were times where, let's say this is the bulb, you want to go for to separate in the middle, or just even if you separate in the middle, you have to be careful on how you're separating it, because sometimes I would separate in the middle and then I have two pieces, and you have to be careful how you separate those, because sometimes it's hard to explain, but you can separate it in a weird way where you're left with a small piece and that small piece is holding like another huge knot, and then you may lose like a good few strands of hair. I kind of lost, I would say like a good 3-4 pieces like that of my hair while I was detangling, and I just lost a lot of hair overall because I had my hair in the protective style for 4 months. So either way, it was going to be a lot of hair. And like I said, if you need a moment, remember to pause to take breaks. If you need to take a break, it's better for you to just do this and take your time. Like I said, you can always throw your hair in a bun, but like no one knows when I'm in the middle of taking my hair out. Nobody really knows. For stubborn knots, I definitely just use the rat tail comb, like I said, carefully. You know, you want to kind of feel your hair out. As far as time detangling, each braid for me took anywhere from like 6 to 15 minutes. Like a section of 6 braids should take about an hour. So you're gonna want to spend an hour and a half maybe each day until you're done. Take your time with this. Definitely this is something you want to do over time. I've watched a video or two where people are undoing their locks, and it does take time. So this is kind of like that, but it's not to that extreme. Even if your hair wasn't locked up, like why are we undoing our hair like in one day? That's just not, no. That could be a whole separate video, because I think you should do your hair periodically and like probably take a good 3, 4, 5 days to take your hair out. Because yeah, that sums up my tips for preventing locking and what to do when your hair is actually locked during long-term protective styling for 4 months. I hope you guys found this helpful. If you did, give this video some love, give it a like, give it a share. Thank you guys for 1K subscribers. We reached 1K subscribers. Let me know what type of video you guys want us to do to celebrate us reaching 1K finally. I'm so excited for this channel. I'm so excited. I'm so excited on where it's going to go. I just love and appreciate you guys a lot. I love talking to you guys in the comments. I just want to say that I'm really thankful for all of you. That's all. Y'all know the vibes. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.